Welcome friends, we have an algebra challenge. The question is given: if x raised to the power 1 over 4 plus x raised to the power 1 over 2 is equal to 1, then what should be the value of x? Kindly watch to the end. We dive in. Solution. You see, given question is x raised to the power 1 over 4 plus x raised to the power 1 over 2 equal to 1. To start with, I move 1 from the right to the left, and that becomes x raised to the power 1 over 4 plus x raised to the power 1 over 2 minus 1 equal to 0. Okay, let x raised to the power 1 over 4 be equal to letter y. What it means is that if I square y, okay, that means squaring x raised to the power 1 over 4, okay, if y is equal to x raised to the power 1 over 4. Now, what will be y squared? It is now going to be x raised to the power 1 over 4 raised to the power 2. If you open the bracket, you get x raised to the power 2 over 4, which is equal to x raised to the power 1 over 2. But this x raised to the power 1 over 2 is given to me, and that is now equal to y squared. What this implies is that y is equal to x raised to the power 1 over 4, while y squared is equal to x raised to the power 1 over 2. So I can now substitute the values of x raised to the power 1 over 4 and the x raised to the power 1 over 2 with y and the y raised to the power 2 respectively. Doing that, this will now come down, this place becomes y plus x raised to the power 1 over 2 is now y squared, then minus 1 equal to 0. If you look at it now, it is a quadratic equation. Alright? I can now go by any of the methods of quadratic equation, but this time around, let us go by quadratic formula, which says that from this equation, a is equal to 1, b is equal to 1, c is equal to negative 1. That quadratic formula is minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. By substitution, I put the values of a, b, and c into this quadratic formula. And when that happens, it is now going to be, for me, b, which is now minus 1 plus or minus the square root of b squared, which is 1 squared. Then minus 4, okay, multiplied by a is 1, multiplied by c, which is minus 1, everything divided by 2 multiplied by 1, that is 2a from the formula. Very correct. Now, moving forward, it is now going to be minus 1 plus or minus, you see that 1 squared will give me 1, okay, minus multiplied by minus inside the bracket will give me plus, and 4 times 1 times 1 will give me 4, divided by 2, that is 2 times 1. This is minus 1 plus or minus the square root of 5 all over 2. Now, what we have gotten is the value of y from the quadratic equation, that is in terms of y. Okay, good. Moving forward, we can now say that the values of y are 1 minus 1 plus root 5 over 2. And the second value of y is minus 1 minus root 5 all over 2. These two values, one is greater than 0, the other one is less than 0. This is greater than 0, while this is less than 0. We are going to reject the one that is less than 0 because y cannot be equal to a negative number here. So meaning that this particular one is to be rejected, and we will work on with the positive value of y. So therefore, if y is equal to this, but what is y? Y here is equal to x raised to the power 1 over 4. So meaning that y now equal to this means 1 x raised to the power 1 over 4 is equal to minus 1 plus root 5 all over 2. Now, I have replaced that value of y because here I said let y be equal to x raised to the power 1 over 4. The question was actually given to me in terms of x. Therefore, I'm going back to x so that I can now find the value of x. Do kindly subscribe to my channel. Alright. Now, to get x here, 1 over 4, if I square it, I am going to get x raised to the power 1 over 2. Okay? Because when we even squared 1 over 4, we got x raised to the power 1 over 2. Meaning that squaring y here gave me 1 over 2, x raised to the power 1 over 2. I will also square this side to have it as minus 1 plus root 5 over 2 squared. Meanwhile, x raised to the power 1 over 4 squared is x raised to the power 1 over 2. Therefore, this value now, which is the value of x, the value we got for y, if we square it, we have this. Let us now expand it. We now write x raised to the power 1 over 2 is equal to minus 1 plus root 5, then divided by 2, multiplied by minus 1 plus root 5, then divided by 2. Let us expand that. Okay? Going by the expansion, this is now going to be x raised to the power 1 over 2 is equal to minus 1 times minus 1 is plus 1. Minus 1 times the plus root 5 will give me minus root 5. Then plus root 5 times minus 1 will give me minus root 5. Again, plus root 5 times plus root 5 will give me just 5. Divided by 2 times 2 will give me 4. Okay? Moving forward, this is going to be x raised to the power 1 over 2 is equal to 1 plus 5 will give me 6. Then minus 2 root 5 all over 4. But then, I am not looking for x raised to the power 1 over 2. What I'm looking for is x raised to the power x, just x, which is x raised to the power 1, okay? Therefore, to make this x to be just be x instead of x raised to the power 1 over 2, that means I'm going to square both sides of the equation, okay? So squaring x raised to the power 1 over 2 will give me exactly x. And when I square the left hand side, I will also square the right hand side, which is 6 minus 2 root 5 all over 4. Good. Math is life. So if I square this, I will get the value x. So the expansion of this, please, here is squared. The expansion of this will now be x minus 2 root 5 over 4 multiplied by 6 minus 2 root 5 over 4. Let us expand it. The result that we have here will be the value of x, which the question has asked us to find. Mathematics is life. To talk later, Sokoli, do kindly subscribe and watch till the end. Alright. X now is equal to 6 times 6 is 36. 6 times minus 2 root 5 will give me minus 12 root 5. Okay, next, minus 2 root 5 times 6 will give me minus 12 root 5. Then minus 2 root 5 times minus 2 root 5 is going to give me plus 20. Okay, divided by 4 times 4, which is 16. This is now going to be for me 36 plus 20 will give me 56. Then minus 24 root 5 all over 16. We can split it, okay? And that means I will now get from here, x now will be equal to 56 over 16 minus 24 over 16 root 5. Let's go. What is now the value of x? 4 here will give me 4, 4 here is 14, 2 here is 2, 2 here is 7. So I will now have 7 over 2 minus 4 here is 4, 4 here is 6, 4, 2 here is 2, 2 here is 3, leaving me with 3 root 5 all over 2. And the denominator, what is common, is 2. So I can factor it out to get the value of x as 1 all over 2 into 7 minus 3 root 5. This is the final answer for the value of x. Thank you, dear friends and viewers all over the world. May God bless you.